Most people treat payday like free money day. The paycheck hits the account, and 3 days later, they're wondering where it all went. But there's a simple routine that takes about 20 minutes every payday that could completely change the trajectory of anyone's finances. According to recent Vanguard research, 82% of Americans believe 2026 will be their year for a financial turnaround. But most won't follow through because they don't have a system. The difference between people who build wealth and people who stay stuck isn't income. It's what happens in those first few hours after the paycheck lands. And here's something most financial advice never mentions. The order of these steps matters more than the steps themselves. Do them in the wrong order, and the whole system falls apart. This is the exact payday routine that financial experts recommend, broken down into 7 steps that anyone can follow. Number 1. Check the paycheck before spending a single dollar. The first step sounds obvious, but most people skip it completely. Before touching any of that money, actually look at the paycheck. Not just the final number, but the entire breakdown. Here's why this matters. According to financial counselors, people often take for granted that everything between gross pay and net pay is running smoothly. But things change from month to month. Tax withholdings shift, benefits costs go up. Retirement contributions might have been adjusted without anyone noticing. Freelancers and contractors need to be even more careful about this step. Every income stream should be matched back to invoices immediately to catch errors and stay on top of accounting. For people with traditional jobs, this is the time to spot if something looks different from last month. A simple check can reveal if a benefit deduction went up unexpectedly, or if that raise from 2 months ago actually made it into the paycheck. One person discovered their health insurance premium had doubled for 3 months before they noticed, because they never looked at the breakdown. That's $400 they could have contested. The goal isn't to become an accounting expert. The goal is to know exactly what came in, so the rest of the routine makes sense. Because what happens in step 2 catches most people completely off guard. Number 2. Automate savings before seeing the money. This is where most people mess up. They plan to save whatever's left at the end of the pay period. But here's the problem. There's never anything left. Financial experts have a name for this. They call it paying yourself first. The concept is simple but powerful. Before paying bills, before spending on anything, a portion of the paycheck goes straight into savings, automatically. According to Consumer Financial Protection Bureau research, one of the easiest and most effective ways to save money is to make it automatic. People who automate their savings are nearly twice as likely to reach their financial goals compared to people who manually transfer money when they remember. The mechanics are straightforward. Most employers allow paychecks to be split between multiple accounts through direct deposit. Someone could have 10% go directly to savings and 90% to checking without ever seeing that savings portion. For people whose employers don't offer this, banks allow automatic transfers to be scheduled right after payday. Think about it like a paycheck firewall. Before money can leak out through 1,000 tiny spending holes, a portion gets protected behind a wall where it can't escape. The specific percentage depends on individual situations. The popular 50-30-20 rule suggests 20% of take-home pay should go towards savings and debt repayment. But even starting with 5% makes a difference. According to recent financial data, someone earning $4,000 per month who saves just 5%, that's $200, will accumulate $2,400 in a year without feeling the pinch. Scale that up to 10% and it becomes $4,800. Keep it going for 5 years and that's $24,000 sitting in savings from money that was never missed. Here's what makes this work psychologically. Money that gets automatically transferred is money that was never available to spend. There's no temptation because it's gone before any spending decisions happen. As one financial expert put it, money that disappears can't be spent. But here's where it gets interesting. Savings is just the first layer of protection. The next step prevents a completely different kind of financial bleeding that costs people even more. Number 3. Review and pay all bills due before next paycheck. With savings handled, the next priority is bills. This step prevents late fees and keeps credit scores healthy, but it also reveals something most people never think about. The approach here is methodical. Pull up all bills that are due before the next paycheck arrives. This includes obvious ones like rent and utilities, but also the bills that hide in plain sight. Insurance premiums, subscription services, childcare costs, phone plans, internet, streaming services. According to financial counselors, subscription costs can easily add up to hundreds per month without anyone noticing. Apps like Truebill and other payment analyzers help spot recurring charges that might have been forgotten. Here's a real example that shows how bad this gets. A 34-year-old marketing manager in Denver decided to actually audit every single recurring charge on her accounts. She found 23 subscriptions she was paying for. 23. She actively used 4 of them. The other 19 were things she'd signed up for and forgotten. Free trials that became paid subscriptions, apps she downloaded once, gym memberships at places she stopped going to 2 years ago, streaming services for shows that ended. The total? $437 per month. That's $5,244 per year going out the door for literally nothing. When she canceled those 19 subscriptions and redirected that $437 to savings, she had over $5,000 saved by the end of the year without changing her lifestyle at all. The goal during this step isn't just to pay bills, it's also to spot changes. Did the electric bill jump up significantly this month? Did a subscription renew at a higher price? These increases need attention because they affect the budget. For people living paycheck to paycheck, this step requires extra care. Bills should be prioritized by due date and consequences. Late rent has bigger consequences than a streaming service. The key is making sure essential bills get paid first, then handling the rest in order of importance. Setting up autopay for recurring bills can simplify this process, but only if there's always enough money in the account to cover them. Automatic payments on a tight budget can backfire if they trigger overdraft fees. And speaking of protecting against financial disasters, that's exactly what Step 4 is designed to prevent. Number 4. Fund the emergency savings account. After bills are covered, attention turns to emergency savings. This is separate from the automatic savings that happened in Step 2. And here's something that needs to be said honestly. Most people in their 30s don't have this fund, and they're terrified to admit it. Financial experts typically recommend having 3 to 6 months of living expenses set aside in an easily accessible account. For someone with $3,000 in monthly expenses, that means building up between $9,000 and $18,000 over time. That number sounds impossible when someone is looking at $247 in their savings account. The shame of not having this buffer keeps people from even starting. But here's the truth that financial advisors don't say enough. Almost nobody has 6 months saved when they're starting out. The people who have it now built it slowly over years. They didn't wake up one day with $15,000 sitting there. They started with $25 and kept going. The strategy here is consistency over amount. Even small contributions add up. According to Bankrate research, someone who automatically transfers just $25 per paycheck into emergency savings will have $650 in a year if paid bi-weekly. That might not cover 6 months of expenses, but it covers a surprise car repair or medical bill. High-yield savings accounts make this easier. While traditional savings accounts offer minimal interest, high-yield accounts can provide rates around 3 to 4% as of 2026. That means the emergency fund grows faster just by sitting there. The psychological benefit of an emergency fund can't be overstated. According to Fidelity Research, 80% of people with financial plans in place say those plans help them deal with surprise events. An emergency fund is that plan in action. It's the difference between a car breakdown being an inconvenience versus a financial crisis. If the emergency fund got tapped during the previous pay period for an actual emergency, this is the time to start rebuilding it. Small, consistent contributions restore the cushion over time. And once this safety net exists, it makes the next step, dealing with debt, way less scary. Number 5. Tackle debt strategically. With essentials covered and emergency savings funded, it's time to address debt. But not all debt gets handled the same way, and the strategy that works depends on psychology more than math. The priority here is high-interest debt. Credit cards with 18 to 20% interest rates should get extra payments whenever possible. According to financial experts, even small additional payments can significantly reduce the total interest paid over time and speed up the payoff timeline. There are two main strategies people use to pay down debt. The Snowball method focuses on paying off the smallest balance first to build momentum and psychological wins. The Avalanche method targets the highest interest rate first to save the most money long term. Both work. The best choice depends on what keeps someone motivated. Some people need those quick wins from closing out small debts. Others prefer knowing they're mathematically optimizing their payoff strategy. The wrong choice is picking the method that sounds smart, but then giving up 3 months in because it doesn't fit how their brain works. For people with multiple types of debt, the general priority order is high-interest credit cards first, then personal loans, then car loans, then student loans, then mortgages. This order reflects both interest rates and consequences of non-payment. One important note about debt from financial counselors: paying off debt isn't just an action, it's a lifestyle change. According to debt advisors, repeat borrowing rather than one-time borrowing is what drives longer debt journeys. The goal isn't just paying off what exists, but also not adding new debt while doing it. And that connects directly to the next step, because the thing that causes most people to go back into debt is getting blindsided by expenses they should have seen coming. Number 6, allocate money for upcoming irregular expenses. This step separates people who stay ahead from people who get surprised by unexpected bills that happen every single year at the exact same time. These are the expenses that don't hit every month but are completely predictable. Car insurance might be due every 6 months. Property taxes come annually. Christmas happens on December 25th every year without fail. Birthday gifts, car maintenance, annual subscriptions, all of these are regular, irregular expenses. Financial planners call these sinking funds. According to budgeting experts, sinking funds are life-changing because they turn large expenses into manageable monthly savings. Instead of scrambling to find $1,200 when car insurance comes due, someone who saved $100 per paycheck for 12 paychecks has the money ready and waiting. The math is simple. Take the annual cost of an irregular expense, divide it by the number of paychecks in a year, and set aside that amount each pay period. For someone paid twice monthly, that's 24 paychecks per year. A $600 annual expense becomes $25 per paycheck. Painless. Common sinking funds include holiday gifts, annual insurance premiums, car maintenance and repairs, home repairs and maintenance, annual subscriptions, medical deductibles, property taxes for homeowners, and back-to-school expenses for parents. Having sinking funds eliminates the stress of large bills. According to financial wellness research, irregular expenses are one of the biggest causes of budget failures because people don't plan for them. Sinking funds solve this problem completely. No more December panic. No more putting car insurance on a credit card. But here's what makes this step really powerful. Once someone has sinking funds covering the predictable stuff, they finally get to the part everyone actually wants to think about. Number 7, plan spending for everything else until next payday. The final step is where life happens. After savings, bills, emergency fund, debt, and sinking funds are handled, what's left is available for day-to-day spending. And interestingly, this is usually more money than people expect once everything else is organized. This is sometimes called zero-based budgeting. Every dollar gets assigned a job. Some of that remaining money goes to groceries. Some goes to gas. Some goes to entertainment and dining out. The key is being intentional about it. According to financial counselors, the simplest approach is to split remaining money into needs and wants. Needs include groceries, transportation costs, basic household items, and other essentials that aren't paid as bills. Wants include dining out, entertainment, hobbies, shopping, and extras. The mistake people make here is thinking they need to track every single purchase down to the penny. That level of detail causes burnout. The goal is awareness, not obsession. Knowing there's $300 available for groceries and $150 for fun money is enough to guide decisions. For people living paycheck to paycheck, this step might not leave much discretionary spending. That's okay. The goal isn't to have tons of extra money right away. The goal is to build the habit of managing whatever money exists intentionally. One strategy financial experts recommend: if a subscription gets canceled during the bill review, redirect that exact amount to savings automatically. Someone who cancels a $15 streaming service should set up a $15 automatic transfer to savings. This turns lifestyle adjustments into steady savings progress. Now there's one bonus step that takes 5 extra minutes but can save hundreds of dollars every single month. Bonus: do a quick financial check-in. This isn't a separate step, but an important habit. Payday is the perfect time for a quick financial health check that takes maybe 5 extra minutes, but prevents massive problems. Are there any subscriptions that aren't being used? According to financial wellness data, Americans waste an average of $200 plus per month on subscriptions they don't actively use. Payday is a good reminder to scan through recurring charges and cancel what's not providing value. Did any accounts drop below minimum balances? Some accounts charge fees if balances fall too low. Catching this on Payday prevents unnecessary fees that can cascade into bigger problems. Are there any upcoming financial deadlines? Tax payments, open enrollment for benefits, or other financial decisions might need attention. This quick check prevents small problems from becoming big problems. It takes 5 minutes but can save hundreds of dollars in fees and missed opportunities. Why this routine actually works. The reason this Payday routine is so effective comes down to psychology and math working together in a way that beats willpower every time. Psychologically, having a routine removes decision fatigue. There's no wondering what to do with money or hoping to remember to transfer to savings. The routine handles it systematically. According to behavioral finance research, automation and routine are the most powerful tools for building wealth because they don't rely on willpower or memory. They rely on systems. Mathematically, this routine ensures the most important financial priorities get handled first. Savings happens before spending. Bills get paid before discretionary purchases. Debt gets extra payments before entertainment spending. This ordering prevents the common problem where money disappears before important things get funded. The routine also scales. Someone making $3,000 per month follows the same steps as someone making $10,000 per month. The percentages and dollar amounts change, but the process stays the same. According to Fidelity Research, 80% of people who have a financial plan and structure in place say it helps them handle surprise events better. This routine is that structure. It turns money management from a stressful guessing game into a predictable system. The time investment reality. The entire routine takes about 20 minutes every payday once it's set up. That's less than 45 minutes per month for most people. Compare that to the hours spent worrying about money or dealing with overdraft fees and late payment penalties. The setup takes longer the first time. Getting automatic transfers configured, setting up bill payment systems, and creating sinking fund accounts might take a few hours initially. But that one-time investment pays dividends forever. Financial counselors consistently point out that people aren't afraid of looking at their money. They're stressed because they have no idea what's happening with their money. This routine eliminates that stress by creating clarity and control. Most people will never be rich because of high income. The people who build wealth do it through consistent habits over time. This Payday routine is one of those habits. It's not exciting. It won't make someone a millionaire overnight, but followed consistently over years, it creates the financial stability that most people desperately want, but few people actually achieve. The compound effect nobody talks about. Here's where the real magic happens. Small, consistent actions repeated over time create massive results that seem impossible at first. Someone who saves $200 per paycheck for 10 years has $52,000 saved, not including any investment returns. That same person who also pays an extra $100 per month toward debt saves thousands in interest and frees up that payment for other goals once the debt is gone. Suddenly, there's an extra $100 per month that can go toward investments or goals instead of interest payments to credit card companies. Stack these habits over a decade, and the difference becomes life-changing. The person who follows this routine in their 30s enters their 40s with savings, no high-interest debt, and the financial breathing room to actually make choices instead of just surviving paycheck to paycheck. The difference between financial stress and financial peace often comes down to having a system. This payday routine is that system. It doesn't require special knowledge or fancy tools. It just requires 20 minutes of attention every time a paycheck arrives, and the discipline to follow through consistently. Every payday is a fresh start, a new opportunity to make progress. The routine stays the same, but the results compound over time. That's how wealth gets built. Not through lottery tickets or get-rich-quick schemes, but through boring, consistent, systematic money management that happens every single payday. Subscribe for more practical money advice that actually works.